Welcome back, Mojo Sports. Joe's got the Santa hat on. It's Christmas time, and we just finished the first round of the college football playoffs. And Joe, I got to say, this was the least fun I've had gambling on college football all season. I went 0-4, and every single game felt worse than the last one. Uh, Started off with Bama, Oklahoma. I had Oklahoma, and they go out 17-point lead, and they just get blown out after that point. So that was miserable. But then I wake up Saturday morning. I said, new day. I'm all over Texas A&M, and that game was absolutely terrible. It was like watching paint dry, except for you can huff paint and get a little high. I didn't get any high. I got an all-time low. And then I took the over in the Ole Miss game, and they were scoring early, and the total was in the 60s the whole time, and then it just fell off a cliff. And then I ended the day with Oregon JMU. I took it -20. It closes -21, 21 and a half, 20 and a half, whatever. I got CLV.
CLV.
Right. Yeah. Who fucking cares? And they were covering literally the entire game until they weren't. And yeah, I thought it was going to save my day. I said, I'm 0-3 going into this game, but this is my 5-unit play. And they just gave it up in the worst way possible. And we'll dive into all these games, but I just got to get that off my chest. That was also the sweatiest game that I've watched all year. Like, it came down to it. And yeah, I just had a terrible week, which means one thing. I'm fucking going undefeated in the next round. That's what that means.
Yeah, I think I texted you. I was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Like, none of that matters until the Oregon game. You know, if Oregon rolls, you're covered because that's your max play." And boy, yeah, we'll get into it. But opposite for me. I mean, I had a winning week, 2-1-1. Like, it's a fresh start for the kid. I went 3-1 on my picks on the actual playoff picks. Beat you head to head in the Oklahoma Bama,
You
which
did.
looked, I mean, deader than dead. But my challenges this week, Will, they didn't come from the field. Okay, I just want to give the listeners a little idea of what I do for them in order to produce this show. So this weekend I traveled back. I'm back in Washington or in Idaho, and I've been texting Will all week. I said I'm not going to be able to record this week. I don't think it's going to happen. Been out at my mom and stepdad's house, no power. They've been out of power for 7 days. Okay, we had no power. So we get all the way to the playoffs. You know, the only time of the college football season that matters, right? Like, we watch all year, every game. I didn't see half. I saw half of every game basically because we're running the house off a generator, and it was. I had to tell my stepdad. I was like, "Hey, you know, there's major college ball on right now," and he had to tell me like, when we run this TV, you're costing me probably 15 gallons of gas in order to get that thing on. So it's like that's a losing battle. And then during the middle of
Worth
the
it.
day, yeah. On top of it, I go to a 1-year-old's birthday party. So my step niece's birthday party, I don't step niece one removed, whatever. My little cousin basically turns one. So we're watching that. You know, there's kind of football in the background, but there's about 1,000 kids. So it was just it was a struggle to watch these games. But I did catch the Bama Oklahoma game on the plane here. So that was when I walked onto the flight and I saw the TVs on the back of the chair, it was a gift from the gods. And I had the bets all placed. So you just get up there, nobody can text you. You get to watch the games in peace and just sweat it out. So yeah, I just had to give a little background. I'm back and we have power now, so I'm okay. But yeah, brutal couple of days there.
Well, you picked a good round to miss
Yeah,
because
that's true.
there weren't a lot of close games. There were some close games in terms of betting, but yeah, not super competitive. Um, which I'd like to start off with Alabama, Oklahoma. Let's dive into it. You got to watch this game,
Yeah.
and Oklahoma, they jump out to a 17-0 lead.
Smacking
Like,
them.
by the time I settled into this game, it was already 17-0,
Yep.
and I think everybody thought Bama's doomed. Everybody probably thought DeBoer headed to Michigan.
Michigan. Yep. Yep.
From that point on, we see a 34-7 run by Alabama. And for me, it all started with John Mateer and that pick six. It
Yep.
was so bad.
So bad.
The guy caught it while full sprinting towards the end zone.
Yep.
And yeah, at that point, it just felt like a whole momentum shift, and Mateer didn't look great from my
Nope.
eyes. He looked really inaccurate. He's fun. I'll give him that. Really fun to watch. But goddamn, he missed some throws. He even missed a throw that was just an incompletion, but it was a 40-yard bomb that very easily could have changed the momentum of
Easily.
the game. And
Yep.
he
I
just
know
missed it.
exactly what pass you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Give me your thoughts.
Well, I the first half, so you're watching, and I had Bama first half, so it was dead, right? I was sitting there just like kind of pissed, but excited to see this game because it was not at all what I expected. I expected a close one to the end. And John Mateer came out looking like the guy that I put a Heisman future on. You know, I thought, wow, this guy, like he played like this all year. There wouldn't even be a question about it. He was zipping that ball. I mean, there was a couple passes across the middle where it was like, I think he threw that 200 miles an hour. Announcers are just gassing him up. Like he looked really, really good for those first couple drives. And I thought, wow, Oklahoma found an offense. This could be a problem. Like they might make a deep run. And then, like you said, that pick six, like I don't know if it was his confidence or something just flipped in that moment. Because when they showed that close up of him missing the tackle on the sideline, like that was the moment. It was over from that moment on because it just wasn't even close. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. We thought Oklahoma's defense was something too, and they looked horrible that second half.
Which is funny because in the first half, they looked awesome. At least, I would say 20 minutes in, they looked awesome. And Alabama, I was saying, damn, Simpson looks terrible. To
Yeah,
start that game, he
bad.
looked so bad, couldn't get anything going. Um, have you ever heard of the middle eight? Do you know what the middle eight is?
Yeah, for the last four and first four of the second half.
Right. So for the people that don't know, it was a big Belichick thing, but he always talked about winning the middle eight. So it's the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. And even at UNLV, Michael Lombardi, he came and talked to us and gave a whole spiel about how Belichick's big thing was winning the middle eight. And for me, that's where this game fell apart because they got dominated to end the first half, and then Alabama started the ball, second half and just went right down and scored. That Lombardi said a crazy stat in front of us. I think he was just trying to sell his book because that's ultimately why he was there. But he said that if you win the middle eight, you win 80% of the time. That's what he told us. Uh, for this game, definitely held true. I'm looking at the stats, and there was a massive swing in the middle eight. EPA, which is expected points added, we saw a 14-point swing during the middle eight. Oklahoma had negative 13 points of expected, while Bama had a +1. So we're looking at a 14-point swing, and just terrible. I don't know if I like him as a head coach. He might just be an elite DC, and some guys gotta accept that. You're just an elite coordinator. I don't know if he's an elite head coach.
Speaking of Venables, what'd you think? There was a lot of buzz about the sweatshirt. You know, he's rocking a Jordan basketball sweatshirt, no OU
Yeah.
logo on it. I mean, that was a little bit of a wild move for a college football playoff game. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I had somebody in the group chat that was just hating on him for it. They were hating on the whole Oklahoma team. They were like, "I just see a bunch of jump man and nothing else." Yeah, and Mateer ends up 26 of 42, 280 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 5 sacks. I don't know. It's an average game, but he was just so inaccurate, and I think that's a little bit of a theme that I'm gonna say when we go through these games, but the quarterbacks that looked shaky, those were all the teams that lost. The other
Yeah.
quarterbacks that just sat in there and were putting the ball where they wanted to put it, they were winning games, and that's the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't Oklahoma didn't get their best players the ball either. That was the problem. Like, I didn't quite get it. The one thing that Oklahoma did well was bring out 50 Cent. That was sick. That was a great move by
Yeah.
them. The problem was that it hyped up Alabama more than it did Oklahoma. And also the problem is they stole that motto from Georgia. So I don't know, a lot of stolen valor and 50 Cent just a random poll. Guy's hot right now. The P. Diddy doc. I mean,
So hot.
he's on a tear. So I wouldn't want to be on the bad side of him. And I bet he got a fat check from Oklahoma for about a 30-second performance.
No free ads, but if you haven't watched his documentary on Netflix, highly recommend. It is so good. Um, yeah. And also, Many Men, I wish we could, can we, for all sports, can we just reserve that song for somebody that has the target on their back? That
Yep.
song is meant for the king of kings, where it's like everybody wants me dead because I'm that guy. Oklahoma, you're not that guy, pal. You're not. Like for Georgia, it would make sense, you know. For Ohio State, it would make sense. There's a lot of people that are higher up on the hit list than you right now. All right.
Yep.
So you should
Yep.
just keep trying to climb.
Yeah, if you have a target on your back or you've been shot, then you can play the song.
Fair, fair. Brian Robinson, shout out, walking out first
Exactly.
game,
Yeah, that's
Commander Stadium. Um, what do you think? I mean, we'll dive into the round two matchups, but did this give you a ton of confidence in Bama going forward?
I was gonna say yes, but, like, on paper, it looks good, right? Because Oklahoma has that defense that you kinda put up there with Indiana, but I don't know, I feel like Indiana and Ohio State are just on this other level, like, this game, I think out of all of the second round games, I think it's Bama, Indiana, and it's Oregon, Texas Tech. Those are the 2 that I'm most excited about just because it's kinda unknown quantities, you know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling of what we're gonna get with Ohio State and Miami, but I don't know what that SEC versus the top of the Big Ten is gonna look like, and I don't think we've really had too many matchups with those 2 the big dogs of those 2 conferences yet, so that's what I'm really excited about. I don't have a ton of confidence in Alabama's offense, I don't. I think their defense will be torn up with whoever they play, and I think that was like, if Oklahoma just played defense like they had the rest of the year, they win that game.
Right. And that was the reason why I took them in the first place. I saw
Right.
what Georgia's defense did to Bama in the conference championship. And if you ask me, Oklahoma's defense is better than Georgia's this year. Georgia's
Yep.
way better as a team. But if we're just talking about the defense, Oklahoma's defense is top five in the nation. So there's that. Do
Well,
you think Ryan?
the first, like, 10 minutes, I thought that was the sharpest thing you've ever said. Like, when you picked Oklahoma, I was like, "Oh, this was so obvious. Bama's defense is terrible." Like, they're making Oklahoma's offense look like, I don't even North Texas. Like, it looks like they're just gonna put up 70 on these guys.
Do you think Ryan Williams is he dead? Is he just a dead prospect? Because he was the future king, you know, him and Jeremiah
He's
Smith.
only a junior, right?
Yeah, he's only 18 years old, but people on
That's,
Twitter, they want
yeah.
his head.
I don't I think you look at him and even, I don't know, it's a junior slump maybe, like, you gotta give these guys a little bit of time because at any point they can pop off, like, I don't know. I think he's gonna have a monster year next year if he doesn't because he's not gonna declare, right? I don't think he's gonna leave now.
Nah, I don't think he can yet. I mean, he's
Oh,
literally
he's only a
18 years
sophomore.
old. Yeah.
Okay, because he was a freshman
Uh,
last year, that's right. Mbappe,
I
he's only
mean,
18.
there are people saying that he might transfer though at this point.
I've seen those rumors.
Yeah. And I saw people also edited him out of the college football cover for the video game. Some people just edited him out, which was
Has he had
hilarious.
that bad of a year?
So I saw a stat. He has the most drops by an Alabama wide receiver in the last decade. The last guy that had more was
Mm,
Calvin Ridley, which not bad company, right? Calvin Ridley,
yeah.
all Pro Bowl wide receiver, and then he has the highest drop rate by an Alabama wide receiver since Jalen Waddle. Which, like, once again, you're just Alabama. Every wide receiver they have goes to the NFL and becomes a Pro Bowler, so it's kind of tough. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I see. Yeah, I mean, his production is about half of what it was last year. He's got like
right,
600 yards, 4 touchdowns, I guess. I feel like he's the number 1 step backer in the country, though. I mean, he has that move, and nobody
but
can take
yeah,
that from him.
it's so sick.
It's the best. It literally
Yeah,
is like the end. It's like the game.
I don't want to overreact because he's 18 years old. Most of my high school teammates were 18 going into the senior year of high school. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about him. I think he'll be just fine. He also gets overshadowed by Jeremiah Smith, which is fair.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Saturday. Saturday, I woke up. I said, Texas A&M versus Miami. This is the game I want to see more than any other game. I could
Yeah.
not wait. I should have known though that this play was dead that morning because none of their quarterbacks showed up for this game. Marcel Reed was awful. I've been the biggest Marcel guy probably on the planet this whole year. He was terrible. And then
Marcel
Johnny
Rochelle.
Manziel just didn't show up for college game day. An insane move. He was the guest picker and he just didn't go. He went to the Jake Paul fight in the morning and
Yep.
or the night before in Miami.
In Miami. Yeah.
And then he was just like, "Yeah, I'm definitely not making this." He was probably hanging out with the Bella Danger, which she ended up making it to the game. Huge headlines. Camera guy could not stop looking at her,
Yeah, he was
which honestly
that
was the
guy.
most entertaining part of the game.
Yeah, he's up for horniest guy of the year. He might take Moore's his trophy there because she
Some people
this was the
said
one
it
game I got
was
to
Sharon
watch.
Moore. He was manning the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you get Johnny Manziel and you expect him to come after a night in
Yeah,
Miami. Like the ESPN executives, you're morons. Like
that's
that's
on
the
you.
dumbest thing you could. Yeah, what do you want? It's Johnny Football.
Yeah, it's Johnny Football, and they ended up. Do you know who they replaced him with? Alex Caruso, also A&M grad.
Yeah, my power was out before this game, so I got it on right as the game started. I did like the Boz
Electric,
though for the Oklahoma game. That was great. He
right?
was awesome on there, firing him up.
That was the angle. They went Boz, and then they were going to go Manziel. Very similar college football personalities. Um, yeah. So this game, 3-0 at
Stunk,
halftime,
stunk,
3 missed field goals in the first half. And it
disgust. And
was
they kept
windy. I
kicking
will
him.
say, I know it was
Yeah,
so windy.
right.
You couldn't kick the ball. Like literally, one of the balls, it missed the net. It missed so far to the side, it didn't even hit the All-State hands net. And I'm gonna go back to it, but Joe, the middle eight, once again, the middle eight wins. Miami, they won the middle eight. I'm looking at the stats right now. And that was possibly a difference. But I would say the biggest difference was turnovers. A&M turned the ball over 3 times. Miami, I think, only turned it over. Yeah, they only turned it over once. Like that was the game. Because when I look at the stats, if we're looking at success rate, M had a much higher success rate on plays.
Better stat,
A&M
better
ran
like
the ball better. They passed the
yeah,
ball better. They had better third down success rate. Third down success rate, A&M had a 43% conversion compared to 14% for Miami. Miami was in the second percentile, second percentile in success rate. Plays that were successful. They were in the second percentile. That's insane.
yep,
And they win this game, but it's turnovers. And Marcel Reed
yep.
just could not hit a pass.
No. And Mark Fletcher for Miami, their running back, he was unbelievable. I mean, there was not a lot of offensive highlights in this game, but every time they gave that kid the ball, like he was getting 10 a pop, it felt like. And it was It was a great
Literally.
time watching him. Yeah, and they were just flashing to his mom every 3 seconds, and she was just pumped, and they're like, "Oh, fear of flying, she's driven to every game." Like, she drove to Cal to watch him play. I was like, "That's
It's commitment.
perfect." But Carson Beck, I mean, this was the hate watch. Like, we got the hate watch, they just couldn't close the game. He threw for 100 yards.
Did he
I don't
really? Yeah,
Yeah, he threw for
not even.
103 yards.
Yeah, I don't know how they ended up winning this game. It's honestly crazy to me when you look at the stats. You say this team should never win. Um, and now they
It
gotta
was
go play Ohio
0-0 at
State.
halftime. Like, this game was
Yeah,
scoreless at halftime. Like, that it
it
was a
was
disgusting, gross game.
yeah, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
No, no.
And it sucked for me because I honestly, at the end of the game, I legitimately I felt bad for Marcel Reed. Like, I don't know why. Just in my heart of hearts, I was like, "Dang, that must suck."
We both called this one wrong too because we were right. That's the thing. I would if you had to make this pick 3 times again, I would make the same pick. Like, I would pick A&M in this game every time, especially at home. You lose this game at home?
At home.
Yeah, the Colt,
But
though. I
then
think
that was
it's
kind
the
of the
Colts' fault.
that was the tipping point, though. I got to the point where I said, "This is funny." Like, I kinda like watching A&M. Like, if somebody was gonna lose me my bet, at least I get to watch the Colt in shambles.
But this was A&M was the one with the state trooper, right?
A&M was with the state trooper. They
I
also had a
think that's
stat.
I was gonna say that was the problem. You needed that guy back to get his energy back in that tunnel, so that, you can shove
Yeah.
a couple players and really get the crowd going.
Did you see that stat, though, about the arrests?
Yeah.
There weren't arrests, I shouldn't say arrests, but, um, basically the tickets and the people they kicked out of the game, they had 13 of them, which was more points than A&M ended up with. So, they kicked more people out of the game than that. So, yeah, just a terrible look, and they become, they're the only team in the first round of the playoffs that didn't score a touchdown. Tough to
That's
do.
insane. Yeah, good thing the group of fives got in, so at least we could see some scoring.
For sure. And well, let's move on to the group of 5 right now. Let's hop in. Tulane at Ole Miss. At this
Oh,
point, I'm in shambles.
the
I'm
haters
just
were
like,
so
"All right."
right.
Yeah, so Ole Miss wins this game 41-10. Absolute bloodbath, and they started right away. They go down first drive, they scored in 3 plays, I'm pretty sure. And you said, "Oh shit, this offense doesn't look any different." And about 2 quarters in, I said, "This team looks better. They look better than they did with Lane Kiffin." And yeah, Tulane just couldn't get anything going, and you could tell it was a different level of competition.
Yeah. I think the team was more focused. There wasn't a bunch of co-eds running around the coaches' offices, and they had, they didn't have the distraction. And this is exactly what you said. You said they're going to have a plan here, week 1, with their interim staff, and now round 2. That's going to be the challenge. But in terms of the group of 5 hate, and you and I are, I'd put us up there with high level group of 5 defenders. Like, we like the group of 5, at least having one team in this playoff. But boy, it's hard to defend this, especially when you saw this game already happen in like week 4, week 3, and it was the exact same score. So I just I don't know. I really liked JMU. Like, they put up a bigger fight, and we'll talk about that game next. But this just didn't even feel like Tulane belonged on that field.
And that's kinda what I think the committee is gonna end up doing, not the committee, but the NCAA, they're gonna probably make a rule that you've gotta be ranked in the top 12
Yep.
for a G5 team to get in. That's kinda where I'm leaning, and I don't know, I kinda see that. I kinda like that at this point, where because you still get Boise from last year. Boise still gets in. Cincinnati with
Yep.
Desmond Ritter, Sauce Gardner, right?
Yep.
They still get in. Um, which that pissed me off too. I saw some people on Twitter, they were pulling up all the G5 playoff games that have ever happened, and they said, "Look at these blowouts." Well, You look at Boise from last year. Boise had a bye round 1, so they had to
Yep.
play a freaking legit team the next round.
Yep.
And then you look
And
at
they kinda pushed Penn
Cincinnati.
State for 3
Yeah,
quarters.
and
Like,
that's the thing.
that
And
Penn State game was not a blowout.
if they played SMU, Arizona State, if they would have had a first round matchup, they could definitely win that game. And then the person also posted Cincinnati as one of the here, look at this box scores. Cincinnati versus Alabama. That was a 4-team playoff. You're telling me if it was a 12-team playoff, they wouldn't have got in?
Right.
Ostrous to me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and there's also been blowouts across the board, you know what I mean? Like, the group of 5 is not the only like, a couple years ago, we had blowouts in every game, and it didn't matter if you were Power 5 or not. Like, I think that's just the nature of playoffs, especially when you're dealing with 12 teams. Like, you've been screaming from the rooftops. There's not 12 teams that can win a national title. There's only a couple. And I think that's gonna I bet you next round we're gonna get at least 1 or 2 blowouts. Like, I guarantee it.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It always happens. I went to the first college football playoff game ever. Oregon versus Florida State. Get Mariota versus Jameis Winston. Heisman on Heisman.
Mariota.
Guess what? That was a blowout. It was, I think the final score was 59-20. It was a blowout. So it doesn't even matter. It just happens sometimes. But
Yep.
for this first round this year, I will say both of the G5 teams looked like they should have been playing each other and not the big dogs.
I
A little
know, and
different.
it wasn't the best year for Group of 5, like you said, Boise last year, since, like, we've had stronger teams in the past, so the fact that this was the year they got 2 in, like, it should have been a couple of their years where it might have been a little bit more fun.
Yeah. It was no fun this year. It makes me think that a North Texas would have been a better pick, but you can't let them in. They can't get in.
And still Notre Dame, fuck you.
Notre Dame, eat shit. Well, let's jump to the end of the night. We had JMU at Oregon, and Oregon wins this game 51-34. The bone I got to pick with this game is it was the grossest backdoor I've ever seen. Oregon was up 38 points with 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and they were on the goal line about to score again. I said, I'm good, dude. I'm hitting this play. All of a sudden, they throw an interception. It gets returned for a good amount of yardage. AMU starts to fight back. Oregon's definitely taken their foot off the gas. We find ourselves in a situation around the 2-minute warning where JMU gets backed up to the 1 yard line. They're backed up on their own 1, and we have a score difference of 25 points. The line was 21-20, right around that. They go down in 2 minutes. They drive 99 yards. They break off a giant run. The guy gets tackled at the 1 yard line. So it's first and goal at the 1. And I said, I'm dead. I'm dead. Which meanwhile, I was also sweating the Packers Bears game. I was on Packers money line. Jordan Love gets hurt. They also got erased on an 11-point lead. The worst part about
Had a
this was
shitty
both,
Saturday.
dude. So we're talking first and goal at the 1 for JMU. They score on the first play, but we get a penalty, 10-yard penalty. They get backed up. So now first and goal at the 11. I'm thinking, okay, we're back in business. Not easy to score from there. And then fast forward, it's fourth and goal at the 1 yard line with practically no time remaining. So my 5-unit play, it all comes down to this one play. This was my Super Bowl. There's one problem. Oregon has put in all their backups and they don't give a shit. And JMU is all looking at each other saying, hey, we can cover the spread right now, guys. We've got this. And what do? They punch it in, quarterback run, he gets in, and then they convert the 2-point conversion to make it not look as bad. But Oregon out-athleted them the entire game, was the much better team, and it was still the right play. And while that quarterback scores the touchdown to kill me, I shit you not, I had YouTube TV going on, split TV. I had that and the Packers-Bears game. Both of my bets died within 5 seconds of each other. The Bears scored an overtime
The
touchdown
DJ Moore.
5 seconds after I saw them both celebrating in the end zone, both teams at the same time on my TV, and both of those bets looked so good 30 minutes before
So
that.
good.
And yeah, it was just rock bottom for me. But congrats. Congrats to you and JMU. Congrats, guys.
No, I did not have a strong play on that one, so it was definitely not a 5 unit max, so I felt bad for you. I didn't know about the Packers thing, though. That's hilarious.
It
You
was
did
a
have
double
a
whammy.
Saturday from hell.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough. I was like, "Oh, it's all I'm about to get it all back right here tonight." And then it just boom, it's just gone. But Oregon rolled. Oregon rolled. I think they honestly gained respect. I think a lot of people, even though they saw the box score and they said Oregon didn't cover, I think everybody came away from that game saying, "Hey, Oregon's starters looked really damn good. Dante Moore looked really good. And the offense is just, it's explosive. Everybody's very fast and quick twitch. And that was the difference when I watched the game is the athletes were just so much better on Oregon's side.
And they're getting healthy too. Like, they're all kinda coming back. Their offense is getting some weapons back, so, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk about it, but I like
Yeah.
I
I
like
mean,
your pick of Oregon making a run here.
I think they can do it. And Evan Stewart, big time transfer this offseason for Oregon. He ended up He was out for the season. Over the summer, he tore his patellar tendon. He was supposed to be their stud wide receiver. He ended up playing in this game. He hasn't played all year. So that's another X factor that they just added to the offense postseason, which could make problems for Texas Tech this coming week. Well, let's dive into round two now that we got the matchups set up. But we've got I'll run through them all and then we'll dive in. But we're gonna have Miami versus Ohio State. This will be the Cotton Bowl. We're gonna have Oregon versus Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. Bama versus Indiana for the Rose Bowl. And finally, Ole Miss versus Georgia, the Sugar Bowl, as it should be. And now I'm looking at all these matchups. These are bangers. These are certified bangers.
Yep,
And let's start
yep.
off with we're not going to give out picks today, but let's just kind of initial thoughts, initial reaction, very quick.
Yeah.
But Miami versus Ohio State opens up 9.5. It's floating around that 9.5, 10, 10.5. What do you make of this? I mean, do you think Miami can give them a run after what you saw against A&M?
My initial thought was, this line's disrespectful, and you might be thinking disrespectful to Miami, getting, a 10-point line here. It's disrespectful to Ohio State. I think Ohio State is going to wax Miami, and that might be, a really wrong take here, but I think Ohio State is going to start their vengeance tour by making Carson Beck look like a complete fool, because I think Miami's offense is Fletcher and Tooney, and that's the only two guys they got right now. They do have Shannon Sharp, but he's not playing. He's just on all fours on the sideline usually, probably coked out of his mind.
Well, Michael Irving,
Michael Irvin. Yeah, Michael, but Shannon
same
Sharp, my
guy,
bad.
same.
Shannon Sharp was also yeah, Michael Irvin, but those clips of him on the sideline were just so good. Yeah. No, I like Ohio State though.
I will say, as soon as they put the line up, I did take Ohio State minus 9.5. Uh, yeah, I'll have to update my numbers, but initial numbers that make it closer to like 11.5. And yeah, I think Ohio State is the best team in the college football playoffs. I don't give a shit if Indiana beat them. That was Indiana's spot. I was all over Indiana right there. I'm big Ohio State right now. After that, we get Oregon, Texas Tech in the Cotton Bowl or the Orange Bowl, sorry. And this line's basically a pick 'em. Oregon, small favorite, which I was surprised by. I thought they would have Tech favored. Um, what do you make of this one?
This one I think is the banger of the day. I really do. I think this is gonna be the best game of the day. Um, so I haven't made my pick. I need to do a little research into this one, but I view this one as the most, coin flip, obviously, with this line. I uh I lean Oregon, I think. I lean Oregon a little bit, but I need to check the numbers because I'm not 100% sure on this one.
Yeah, I think this is a fun game. Like Texas Tech, they just got their rest period, and Oregon obviously still had to play a game, so you're still taking damage. Um, but I agree with you. I think this is the matchup that everybody wants to see, and we finally get to see. Is Texas Tech an actual national championship contender? If they beat Oregon, the answer is yes, right? There's no maybe no. If they beat Oregon, I will finally say, "Hey, Texas Tech, you can really do this thing."
Yeah. I think they are a little bit untested, I think is the word. They've had some bigger games, but they haven't had the big dog games yet. So yeah, I'm really excited to see them play because I think they have the most hype like mid season. It was like, oh, Texas Tech, like they might win a national title. Like people were really high on them. Well, maybe that was just us, but I was really high on them like week 5, 6. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. That's gonna be a fun one. Um, by the way, Miami versus Ohio State, that's the Wednesday game. When I looked at the schedule. And then the other three will all take place, which Wednesday will be New Year's Eve. That's the Wednesday I'm referring to. So we get one New Year's Eve game, and then we're gonna get the three other games on New Year's Day, part of the New Year's Six. So we also get Bama versus Indiana, and right now looks like Indiana favored by 6.5 to 7, somewhere in that range. I don't see any books at 7.5, but this one's intriguing because Indiana definitely has a good defense. We all know that, but they did lose their star DN. We talked about that. He got hurt celebrating after the Big Ten championship. He'll be out for the playoffs, and Alabama just rolled through one of the best defenses in the country, and I'm kinda wondering if they're gonna pick up steam, if people are gonna really buy into them.
Yeah. I think this is the rest versus rust, is Oregon and is Bama, are they gonna come off having first two, round games? Like, does that help them in this case? And it might, because we might see some slow starts from Tech and Indiana just based on the rest period. Heisman Doza has been in New York celebrating, so we'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about him. I don't think he really parties. I don't think he does anything
He
really
went right back
outside
to
of
his
football.
hotel.
Yeah. Uh, but the rest versus rust is definitely an interesting topic because last year we saw plenty of teams that were very rusty. Um, and it was different seeding as well. Like Boise had the bye week. This year they never would have had a bye. So I don't think the teams were in the correct seeds last year. We're still figuring things out, but yeah, it's an interesting point, and I think that's why some people will really like Bama in this spot because they're flowing right now. And then we finish off the night game. It's going to be SEC matchup, Ole Miss versus Georgia. And when I looked ahead at this before round one, wasn't super excited. I'm kind of in on this game now, Joe. I'm kind of in after Ole Miss. They just look like they didn't miss a beat. They looked like the exact same team we've watched all year, even when they had Lane Kiffin. So I'm kind of in on this game, and I haven't run the numbers yet, but I kind of hope the numbers tell me to bet on Ole Miss. I still think Georgia wins, but I'm hoping Ole Miss can keep it close.
Yeah, we might be going head to head because I am going to the Temple of Lord Kirby and I will be paying my respects. I am all in on the dogs.
How could you not be? It's Kirby. It's Kirby. It's playoffs. This is what he does every year. And it's in the Sugar Bowl, too. He's very familiar with the Sugar Bowl. So I would be terrified to play Georgia, but it is fun. And I kind of hope Ole Miss wins the Natty. Actually, I don't know. I don't know, because Lane would get paid out for that, wouldn't he? Doesn't he get an incentive?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I just kind of want to I want them to all get rings and hang a banner, and he doesn't get to be a
And
part
he
of it. He
doesn't
doesn't
get
get a
one.
ring. He
Yeah.
doesn't get to hang the banner. And you're like, oh, you just left this school that won the national championship. You just left them for LSU, who didn't
Yep.
even make the playoffs. Like, that would be so fun to me. It's not going to happen, but man, a guy can dream.
Yeah. What do you think about I've had a lot of people talking about the second round of games also being on campus. And I kind of don't hate it, but I also love all these bowls. Like I like the Cotton Bowl, I like the Orange Bowl, I like the Rose Bowl, obviously. So I go back and forth, but having these games on campus would be pretty electric.
They would be. I think everybody agrees that first round, it's awesome. Watching playoff football at a home stadium, it's electric. I don't think the committee would or the NCAA would ever get to that point though, because they still have their big six bowls that they want to fill. And it's just never going to be the same. If we gave this game to, let's say we did Notre Dame versus Michigan for this game, it just doesn't mean enough to warrant a big bowl. So I don't think it'll happen unless, yeah, I just don't think it'll happen.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun to dream.
It's fun to dream. We're dreamers. Um, yeah, so we'll give our official picks. We'll really dive into these matchups next week on next week's episode. But today, just an initial preview. The last thing I wanted to end the show with, though, Joe, I pulled up a list, and this is from Roto Baller, but they had burning questions for the preseason. And now we get to retroactively look at these questions, and we can now answer them. So let's go through a couple of them. But number one, is Notre Dame here to stay? That is the question. Is Notre Dame here to stay? Well, no. The answer is no, not until they find a conference. Notre Dame not here to stay. What do you think, Joe? Are they here to
Yeah, this
stay?
is fun. This is fun. Yeah, no. But if they're a top 12 seed next year, they will be. So, yeah, I don't know. Join a
Fair.
conference, you bums.
No, just keep twisting the rules. Just keep bullying the committee into making rules that guarantee you get in every year. That's how you should do it. All right, Joe. Question number two. This one's for you. Preseason question. Can Brian Kelly get over the hump? Can he?
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. He can get paid a lot of money to not coach anymore. That's what he can do.
Yeah, he's pretty damn good at that. I think there's probably multiple schools paying him at this point, and he doesn't even have a job. All right. Question number three. By the way, these all come from rotoballer.com. So, preseason question number three, is Clemson back?
No. Answer's no. They're back in the Gasparilla Bowl or whatever they're playing in this year.
Yeah, which I will be on them. Dabo does clean up in bowl
Yeah.
games. So that's where Dabo makes his money. Big bowl game guy. All right. Let me ask you. Question number four. Will Drew Aller lead Penn State to the promised land? They just keep getting better.
These are fun. These are fun.
These are
Yeah,
good, right?
no. An upset from UCLA was not on Rotoballer's radar to start this season.
Yeah, neither was a season ending injury for Drew Aller specifically. Yeah.
We need to track this list next year and just fade the fuck out of it.
Honestly, they did such a good job. I mean, the next question, question number five, does Arch Manning live up to the hype? Talk about going 0 for 5. Hey,
That's
jury's still
incredible.
out on Arch. Jury's still out.
Yeah, yeah. We're arch defenders. We're arch defenders.
I mean, could they have come up with 5 better teams to fade than the 5 they just asked questions about? They couldn't. They literally couldn't. Those were the 5 teams that everybody had high hopes for that all crashed and burned.
It's like the only thing they should have asked is like, will Lane Kiffin stay at Ole Miss for 30 years? And then they would have just been batting 10,000.
Yeah, fair. I will say, 6th question, they said, will Kalen DeBoer uphold his year 2 trend? So in year 1, he has a 75% win rate, but in year 2, he has a 92% win rate. Alabama was good this year. They were pretty good. I mean, you lose your conference
Yep.
championship,
Yep.
but you did beat Georgia in the regular season. I still think DeBoer is a good coach. I think he gets a lot of heat. I don't think he's in the right spot right now, but I don't mind him.
No. And they've got a shot. I know it's Indiana and nobody's giving them a chance, but they have a real chance to win that game.
Definitely have a shot. And if they can beat them, they'll play the winner of Texas Tech versus Oregon. That'll be an exciting game, whatever that matchup is. Question number 7. Is there a clear leader in the Big 12?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. Well, the first sentence of this article says Kansas State, Arizona State, Utah, Baylor, Texas Tech, TCU, and Iowa State. You know, who's going to take home the crown?
Oh, no BYU
they
mention.
were
No BYU mention.
no BYU, and they listed Texas Tech 5th out of the group. God, who wrote this? And they projected in
Kansas
this
State
thing.
is the
Yeah, K-State was terrible, and they were projected 1st in this article, and Texas Tech was projected 4th.
You'd have to be an idiot to be high on K-State.
We're doing good, though. We've got answers to all these questions. And Texas Tech, that is our answer for this one. All right. I got another brain buster for you. Can Florida State rebound? It says, we all know Florida State turned in a 2-10 season last year. But could they make a playoff run this year? And I say no.
Yep.
I got
Norvell.
I got
Get him
2
some Saudi
questions
money.
left. Does Bill Belichick fit in the college game? I mean, this might be valid
The
still.
jury's still out.
Yeah, that's a valid question.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he'll turn it around.
He spits game to college girls. Does that count? I mean, he's definitely fitting in it, on a Friday night with some roses, candles lit. He's fitting in the college game. I don't know if that's the question.
No.
And finally, I'll let you answer this one, Joe. This is a good question. How will the College Football Playoff Committee upset people this year? How'd they do it?
Yeah. Notre Dame and Group of 5. Yeah, this list is these guys are time travelers. They're like freaking Nostradamus here. This is insane.
Yeah, I'm so with you. Next year, we're pulling up this exact same article for 2026, and we're putting futures against all of them. We're fading every single question because that is just an unreal run they rattled off.
It's like they made the list for clickbait.
Yeah. It's like they already had the answers, and they were like, what questions can we put out there to just fire people up? That's awesome. Well, that does it for the Round 1 College Football Playoff recap. Joe, if you got nothing else, I'm going to send our viewers off with a Merry Christmas, and we can't wait to see you guys next week. We'll break down all of Round 2, and we'll give out our official picks. But until then, spend time with your family, and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa to all.
Holidays, Merry Christmas, and all the above. Adios.